So basically, what is blockchain? Blockchain can be defined from its own word. The chain or block is called blockchain. So what a block in a blockchain contains? A block in a blockchain can contain any information like a information of a transaction or a information of a person sending Ethereum to another person, or it can contain the certificate of a student so that it can be secured and it can't be changed or tampered by another student. It can also contain the registry papers of farmer. You may have heard of, like in India, in old times or as of now, no one has property papers. Like this is usually the case with farmers. So what happens is like the landlord takes the lease, takes the papers from the farmers and give them their land on lease. So if the paper of farmers will be stored on blockchain, then no one can tamper it or change the information, and there will be also no corruption in bringing of blockchain. So as I told you that a block can contain data, a block also contain a hash and hash of previous block. The first block in blockchain is called Genesis block, and Genesis block contain zero hash because it don't have previous hash, but it contain its own hash. Let me show you an example. Like as I told you that a block contain data, hash and hash of previous hash. So let me go to this tool. So you can see that this is block number one. So there is empty data in it. The previous hash for it is 0. As I told you that first block in the blockchain is Genesis block, so it contains 0 hash because it doesn't have any previous block before it, and hash if it's on, it can't be changed. So if we will change any data, like take for an example of this part, like if we take just type Samarth on it, so you can see that hash of it is changed. So the block is showing red because it has to be mined. So don't take mining as seriously, but just understand that it contains the previous hash. The previous hash is of this hash, and it contains the data. As I change the data, then hash of this block changed, and it contains the nonce and block. Nonce is just a random number, and nonce is there so that the block that we are going to access, or a landlord or any person that is going to tamper the data, has difficulty to tamper it. It has to use electricity, it has to mine the block so much, and it is widely said that you have to spend about $9,000 of electricity to mine to change a block, and even the change of block is not possible then, and I'll explain you why it is not possible in the further video. So we have seen this. As I told you that a block can contain a data for a transaction, like if you are doing a transaction from A to B, then it can contain the data. And hash, as I told you, hash is basically the fingerprint of any transaction. Like if any transaction is done, then a very different, very unique fingerprint is generated, and then that is different from every fingerprint, and every fingerprint is different. So as I told you here, you may see that as I change the data, then the fingerprint of this is changed. So as I told you that this fingerprint is made from the following information that is contained in block. So block contain various information. If we change any information, then the hash of block changes. It means the fingerprint of block changes. So next we are on the topic hash of previous block. So as I told you that Genesis block contains 0 hash in the previous section, but the next block to the Genesis block in the previous hash section, it contains the hash of Genesis block. Let me show you here. Like you can see that there is a block number 1 and this is block number 2. So you can see the hash of it, and this hash is contained in this. So as I told you, why blockchain can't be hacked? Because if I change the data of it, then the previous hash of it, then the hash of this block is changed. But previous hash of this block is different. It is the older version. So all the blockchain is disrupted due to change in data of one block. That's why blockchain can't be hacked. And there is one more reason that it can't be hacked. So, as I told you, that blockchain is a chain of blocks, and each block contains the previous hash and hash of it, and data, nonce, and block number. So, why blockchain is called peer-to-peer network? Let us take an analogy. Like, let us take example. Like, you have a database. Okay. So everyone has a database. Okay. So let us take an example. Like if you are in a blockchain, then you are a node. Node means like you contain all the database of blockchain. And if another person come, then it is also a node. It contains all the database of the blockchain. Then you will say that what is the difference between centralized and blockchain? So the difference is that every node is different, and every node contains each and single data about blockchain, each and every transaction that has happened in blockchain in the backend. So why it is called peer-to-peer network? Because these nodes, like if I, you, and many other people use Ethereum, then they are a node, and each node contains all the copies of database. And peer-to-peer means like these nodes talk to one another. How they talk to one another? So they talk in a way like if a new person is going to come in the blockchain, like if a new person is going to perform a transaction, then the transaction hash of its mining of the transaction hash that the person will generate will go to all the node, and will because they contain all the copies of the database, so it will be shared among all the nodes. And that's why all the nodes are talking to one another. Like there are you can say that they are checking that whether the other node has a data or not. So let us take an example that you are going to hack blockchain, and there are thousands of nodes. It means there are thousands of computers that have each copy of database or transaction that is performed in blockchain. So what will happen is, you want, like take an analogy, like you want to change a block in a blockchain. Then you go to one node and change the block of that node. But there are thousands of nodes, there are thousands of computers, and changing the data for one block is easy. But changing the data for 1,000 nodes at same point, at same second, it is impossible. That's why blockchain has security, and blockchain is the future. And what are cryptocurrency, that we will know in the next video. All right, bye bye, and thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel, and I will be sharing this type of knowledge on my channel.